Welcome to Sense and Nonsense A to Z, where we pick topics based off of the letter of the day. Today is episode 24 of season 2, featuring the letter X.
We're family and we're your hosts, AT and Z. So let's get started. I'm going to go back to one of our hellos. X style is Vietnamese. Xin chào.
Xin chào. I like that one.
I do too. That's why I was like, let's throw that back in, you know?
Yeah.
So I read that, those funny or comical, whatever, the highway electronic messages?
Yes.
Utah stopped doing it because they felt that people just weren't paying attention to them anymore. I guess gotten used to them. And I found out also that in some states they've been hacked.
Oh no.
One of them was hacked and it said, "Caution, zombies ahead."
Do you know that there is a drug that is permeating that people are using to cut other drugs, and it creates like a zombie-like effect?
Ew, really?
Yeah, they're calling it the zombie drug.
No
So
kidding.
zombies may be ahead. And in Philly, it's big in Philly, actually.
No kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. I was just going to go through some of the sayings that they've had that I kind of liked.
All right.
100% is the temperature, not the speed limit. Turn signals, the original instant message. I thought that was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
4 eyes in Mississippi, 2 eyes on the road. Work zones, we don't speed through your office. I like that. Get your head out of your apps, drive safely. Your car is not a phone booth, just drive. I like to buckle. Buckling is my favorite. Elf.
Yeah.
Did it come with a turn signal?
Oh, yeah.
And here's the last one. Visiting in-laws, slow down, get there late. There's a whole bunch of them. So I know, when I'm on 95, New Jersey has them too. But I see them all the time. I get a chuckle out of them, you know? Yeah, why not?
It's a fun way to remind people to pay attention and not just be on automatic when you're driving.
Yeah.
That you are sharing the road with other people. I used
funny.
to wish that I could type something into my vehicle and it would show up on my back bumper.
Oh, have an electronic message on your back bumper?
Yeah, so that
Back
I could
off,
do that.
bud.
Yeah, or something like, go around me then. Or, something that I could like just put on there.
Send a message.
Yeah, that would be fun.
You mentioned medicine. It's funny because I was thinking about this with the letter X. Why are all these medicines coming out with names with the letter X in them? They either throw a letter X in it, a V, a Q. What's with throwing those letters in?
I think part of it is because it's unexpected. They're not normally used in language, so it helps that product stand out. But like, it makes a different sound. So like xylitol or whatever is an X, but
right,
yeah.
Or Xanax, or what's the COVID one?
Paxlovid or something
Paxlovid,
like that.
Exactly. That has an X in it too.
Yeah.
It's like, what's with all these X's?
I don't know.
Anyway, how are you doing?
Oh, so good.
Great.
So good. Actually, yesterday I was writing stuff down. You know how sometimes you see repeats of stuff in your life and you're like, oh, maybe I should pay attention to that.
Okay.
Because like you'll hear a song on the radio and then you'll hear it like all this other place and it's like, oh, what's the content of this song or whatever. Okay. Well, I was at my son's school and I came across this little Zen proverb and it said, let go or be dragged. And I was like, truth. Holy cow, yeah. And that kind of messaging has been coming up for me a lot lately. Let go, let go, let go or be dragged down. So I just thought I would share that during our hello. It's a Zen proverb. And I know you were doing quotes and stuff like that lately.
I do. As a matter of fact, I have some quotes for the Greek portion. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, 100% on that.
Right? I thought so too. I was like, ooh, let me write this down. I'll have to tell AT about it.
Yeah, definitely. The other one that I liked that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago was to be nice. Yeah, I like that too. It's like, just be nice. Just be nice.
It costs you nothing.
Yes, exactly.
and you'll get a huge return on your investment. you know, it really costs you nothing to do.
Yeah.
So you got questions, you got adjectives, you got, what do you got? Verbs? What do you got?
Verbs. I can come up with some verbs, that's for sure. Yeah, let's do the adjective again.
Adjectives.
Okay. So what you have to fill in, extra blank.
Extra.
Got it. All right. First one. Boston Conservatory at Berkeley, which is a private performing arts school, is now offering a new class. How to dance like a rockette.
Nice.
The first class had 38 students sign up, and they're going to find out how to high kick New York Radio City style.
I think that's extraordinary.
That's
fantastic.
Like it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
That takes a lot of skill.
Yeah, I know. I told you I went to school with a girl who did that. Yeah.
That's hard. If you are just in your kitchen and you try to do that, you better hold on to the counter because you're going to be on your tush. You know,
it depends
hard.
how high you kick, right?
But yeah, I mean, it's hard to kick like that.
Oh, sure. This one's a little sad, but you know, we'll get through it. At a nursing home in Port Jefferson, New York, an 82-year-old woman was pronounced dead and transported to a funeral home, where she was found 3 hours later breathing. This just happened a couple of days after an Ohio care center was fined $10,000 for a similar event. She was transported back to a local hospital, and unfortunately, her condition is unknown, so I don't know what else is happening, but the Attorney General is investigating it, obviously. So extra
creepy.
Yeah, bad. Extra bad.
Holy cow. Extra. Yeah. Can you imagine being that undertaker?
Oh my God.
And you go to stick the embalming thing in and they're breathing.
You're coming back into the room.
Yeah.
Right.
La, 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 la.
Excuse me? Yeah.
Like, what am I doing here? Hello? Like, talk about zombies. Oh my gosh.
I know. Okay, next one. After the controversies with the Mars Company, changing the green M&M go-go boots to sneakers, that was polarizing, all right, by some critics for saying it's polarizing. A&W Restaurants announced their bear mascot, Rudy the Great Root Beer, will no longer be pantless. He will now have denim. Their statement was, quote, even a mascot's lack of pants can be polarizing.
Are you serious?
Serious.
Winnie the Pooh hasn't had pants ever.
I know.
He just wears a shirt.
I know.
Donald Duck has never had pants. It's a bear.
I know.
How is that polarizing?
I don't know who they're afraid of, you know? But anyway.
Bob. Extra ridiculous.
There you go. I agree with you on that one. Okay. A Bahama tour boat traveling right off the coast of San Juan, Puerto Rico, with about 32 tourists on board, had a rare sighting of a large hammerhead shark swimming near. So everybody had their cell phones and everybody was recording, all right? And they're going, oh my God, look at the shark, you know, da, 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 da. However, at a nearby dock, a dog dove into the water in after the shark. So people were starting to scream. And of course, everybody had their cell phones, so people are screaming, oh my God, get out of the water. They're screaming, you know, no, baby, don't, no. So anyway, the dog actually caught up to the hammerhead. They were circling around, and the hammerhead had it. He just swam off. And the dog swam back to shore. During the whole encounter, you can hear one woman, and obviously it was either she was yelling to her boyfriend or to her husband, do something.
What am I going to do?
Right,
it's a shark.
What do you want me to do? Jump in the water?
Yeah.
You know, after the shark? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But anyway, dog jumped back on shore, you know, brushed himself off. He was fine. It was
gosh.
Yeah, it was all on video. It's really funny. It's really funny. You know, I mean, it wasn't funny at the time. They're screaming, you know, but
knowing that the dog is okay.
Yeah, a little hero, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so extra
protector.
Yeah, extra special, right?
Yeah,
I
like
know.
what a good doggy. Like he was looking out for those people in the boat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like and it's funny, he goes on a rock and he just jumps right in after it. It's like, oh my God. Okay, next one. Starbucks has announced a new line of drinks called Ulato, right?
Yeah, the olive oil ones.
Yeah, you'd heard about that.
Yeah,
Ulato
I read it.
style drinks. All right, so they're going to start in Italy and they're infused with extra virgin olive oil, either through streaming, shaking, or blending. And it's,
There's like four. There's 4 different ones.
5.
I think 5 different ones.
Yeah.
So like 3 of them are hot and 2 of them are cold or something.
One's a latte, I know.
Yeah. I read a
That's
thing about it. Somebody gave their opinion on it, and it's like a whole tablespoon of olive oil in the drinks, and one of the drinks has 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a little much. So extra oily. Extra oily.
AVOO is a good thing.
It is, but I can't see it in the cold ones. In the hot drinks, like people have put fat in the hot drinks forever. Right? In coffee, people put butter in. People
put, you're right.
Cream is fat. All that stuff. So that doesn't bother me so much with the hot ones, and I feel like you should be able to get that as an extra if in anything if you wanted it to. But I feel like the cold ones, I think that's probably a miss.
Yeah.
Because
we'll see.
That's not gonna blend so well, I don't think either, because it'll separate.
Yeah.
In the hot ones, it will emulsify.
Yeah.
But in the cold ones,
it'll infuse like it's it's intended to, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Police in Anchorage, Alaska got a call from a concerned citizen regarding a pig in Fairview that was standing on the side of the road and it looked cold.
Oh.
So the police found the wandering pig, and since he was quite friendly, they decided to give him a lift.
As you do.
Officers were able to identify the owners of the pig, named Elvis Pigsley.
Oh my goodness.
And returned him to his home. And apparently Elvis is quite an escape artist.
Uh-huh.
So later the officers posted a picture with the pig riding in the back of the cruiser with the window halfway down.
Nice.
And here was their statement. We're all familiar with refrigerated bacon. We just never thought we'd respond to a call for service related to that topic. So everybody's a comedian,
Yes, yeah. Extra cute.
Yeah.
That's extra cute.
It's a cute story, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently they're really good pets.
Yeah.
I've heard that lots of times.
Piggies.
Yeah, piggies. Yeah.
Let's see. Next one. Florida police responded to an alarm at a closed Palm Coast gas station and arrested a Cocoa Beach man for breaking into the convenience store and taking a few items. But he left behind his debit card on a counter. The deputy's body cam footage showed them questioning the man and asking, what was your intentions of leaving your debit card? And the guy said that he had planned to come back later and pay for the items. And quote, I didn't want to steal anything. That's against the law. But dude, you broke in.
Extra loony. Go to a store that's open.
Exactly, dude.
If you didn't want to steal anything, there's lots of convenience stores that are open 24 hours. Go to one of those.
Yeah. Okay, we're up to number 8. A study of New York City sidewalks finds an astonishing high level of E. coli and harmful bacteria.
Oh my God.
Prompting the recommendation to leave your shoes at the door or risk tracking fecal bacteria around in your home.
Extra disgusting.
Extra kind of like makes a lot of sense, Yeah,
but
leave
that's
your shoes at the door.
But poor doggies.
Yeah. They have no other choice. They're walking through it.
You need to wipe their paws before you let them in, and they're chewing on them and stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's disgusting.
Yucky.
Yeah. Okay, number 9, Overfield Township, Pennsylvania. Father and child in Wyoming County contacted the local police after finding what they thought to be human remains in a nearby creek. Police later determined that it was just a discarded sex doll.
Oh, gross.
extra gross. There it is.
That's disgusting.
Can you imagine?
Oh,
Officer,
I think there's a dead body.
There's a dead body in a creek.
No, son.
And no, son, let me show you what came out. Oh, man. Okay, last one. 6 doctors in Melbourne, Australia, conducted an experiment amongst themselves by swallowing a Lego and tracking it to see how long it took to pass. They wanted to assure parents that probably you don't need to go to an emergency room if a kid swallowed like a small object, like a coin or, in this case, a Lego. So they did warn, however, that those button batteries, they can actually burn a hole through your esophagus in a couple hours.
Oh.
Yeah. So these doctors took it upon themselves.
So they did okay with the Lego?
Yeah, they all did fine with the Lego. One couldn't, everybody pooped it out and found it. One couldn't find it, but still, obviously it got pooped out and he just missed it.
How do you miss a Lego?
Well, they're small. They're small. There's
not the ones that my kid has.
Oh, you got the big ones,
the
huh?
giant ones.
Yeah, no.
You're not swallowing that.
They're referring to the little ones. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, extra.
Read all about it.
Extra silly, I guess. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I don't think it's extra anything.
Yeah. Extra nothing.
Nothing. You get nothing from me.
Yeah.
Silly doctors.
Yeah.
Silly Australian doctors.
You guys got nothing better to do than to swallow Legos.
And eat Legos.
Come on.
See how long it takes to poop out a Lego?
Come on. Come on, son.
I know, right? I got questions.
You got questions for me?
Yep.
All right. Lay 'em on me.
The X-Files or the X-Men?
X-File. You're X-Men, right?
X-Men for me.
Yeah, I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked X-Files.
I liked it too.
Yeah.
But I love X-Men.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2. Are you watching XFL?
No. Are you? You're not. No way.
No.
Nah, I can't be bothered.
No.
No, come on. It's baseball season.
Number 3.
Mm-hmm.
For what country would you become an expatriate?
That's a hard question.
I know.
None.
No countries.
None. Nope. No, there's no country.
Okay. Would you rather live in extreme heat or extreme cold?
I hate both.
I know. I hate both too.
I hate both.
The question is.
Answer the question, miss.
Would you rather live in extreme heat or extreme cold?
Man, oh man, that is a tough question. If I had to pick one, I guess extreme heat.
Really?
Yeah, I guess.
You
would go extreme cold.
Yeah.
And just layer it on, right?
Layer it on, fireplace,
yeah.
Soup, hot cocoa.
Soup. Give me the soup.
I would live in the soup. Jacuzzi, hot tub, all that business.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So in extreme heat, you'd be in the water all day, right? Or you try to be in the AC all day.
You know, I do have a hard time breathing in the heat, though, when it's real hot out, even if I'm in the water.
Same thing with extreme cold. I have a hard time breathing in that.
Yeah.
You know, it hurts your throat.
It's true. It's true. It hurts everything.
Yeah.
All right, last one.
We got one more. Another deep question. I'm ready.
This is a deep question, too.
Okay.
Would you rather be exhausted all the time from doing a lot or be well rested with nothing to do?
At this point in my life, I would rather be rested with nothing to do. You know, going back some years, I probably would have picked the first option. But now, no. Option number 2. And you?
It's really a matter of perspective, isn't it?
It really is.
I think at this point in my life, I would rather be rested with nothing to do.
Exactly.
This question can only be answered by someone who has spent like a extended period of time being exhausted. I think
absolutely.
you cannot possibly answer this question if you have never experienced exhaustion.
Right. If you haven't pulled an all-nighter because you had to work and that sort of thing.
And not just once.
Consecutively.
Yeah, not just once, but for an extended period of time.
Sure.
And in some cases, I mean years.
Yeah, I know.
You know, years worth of just
24/7.
Exhausted all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would go with you. I would at this point.
Yes,
I would
please.
like some rest, please. And good rest, not oh crap, I'm sick
Not
in a
BS
hospital
rest.
bed.
Yeah, no. No. Oh,
Okay, those are my deep questions.
very good.
All right, word game.
You know what I was thinking?
Hmm.
Okay, so we have X, right?
Yes.
Take a piece of paper and write down what you think our score is going to be.
Okay.
Because I have a feeling this one's going to be a tough one.
Okay, I got it. All right.
Okay. All right. So at least we know there's an X in the word.
Right.
Doesn't necessarily mean that it starts with an X, which is going to be tough on us. So, letters.
Alphabet.
Okay. Container.
Letters. Container.
Container.
Filofax.
Ooh. Carrier.
This is hard.
This is hard. Okay, letters, container, carrier. Letters, container, carrier.
Uh-huh.
I got it, AT. I got it.
You know what the word is.
I know.
FedEx.
Ooh, that's a good guess. But it's not it. Exterior.
I'm failing.
Wow. Okay. You ready for the rhyme?
Yeah.
Hailbox.
Mailbox.
Yep. Mailbox.
Oh my God. Mailbox.
Mailbox.
Letters, container, carrier, exterior.
Container. You had to do container.
Flag. I mean, I don't know.
Flag.
That's a tough one. Mailbox.
That is a tough one.
Receptacle.
Receptacle.
Still tough. I still don't
That's
know
a
if I would
tough
have gotten. I don't know if I would have gotten it that way either.
Yeah.
Woo.
Right.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
I might want to revise my number.
Me too. I know.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Museum.
Exhibit.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. That was a good clue.
Whew, thank you.
That was a good clue.
That was a good guess.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. These are tough.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I think putting the X anywhere in the word actually made it harder.
Well, unfortunately, there's there's hardly any words with an X,
Yeah.
Okay. Religion.
Zealot? No, that's not right. Oh God, why do I feel like I'm gonna fail miserably at this? I don't know. I need another clue.
Greek.
Orthodox.
There it is.
There it is.
I knew
my
I
gosh.
knew you'd at least get it in two.
Yeah.
Yes.
I should have eaten a cookie
For some energy.
for some brain power.
Okay.
Opulent.
This is tough trying to come up with a word that has an X in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Exuberant.
Luxurious.
Ooh, that has an X in it?
I know.
Is it luxurious?
No.
Darn it. Existential. I don't know.
I'm totally revising my number after this.
Oh yeah, you have to. If it's anything over 10, it's wrong.
Splendor.
I think I want you to give me the rhyme. Splendor. Let me write that down too. Splendor. Because you think after I'm staring at these 3 words, I can come up with something. I'm still coming up with nothing. Exuberant. I don't know.
Expensive.
Extravagant.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Extravagant.
Wow. Extravagant. Wow. Okay. At least it got it at a 2. 2. Woohoo! Okay. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
I don't know if I am, but let me give this a shot. That's all I can think of. Glockenspiel.
Timex. Cuckoo clock.
No. Percussion.
Glockenspiel percussion.
Yes.
I want to do over. Xylophone?
Yes.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
No.
Oh.
Xylophone. Okay, you got it in 2. That wasn't bad.
Oh my God. I'm like having palpitations.
You're thinking a glockenspiel was a clock.
I am. I was thinking of the glockenspiel. And I'm like, oh, that can't be right.
A glockenspiel.
Professional.
Experience. Most professional. You know, this is hard trying to figure out a word with an X in it.
I know.
Executive. No.
Master.
Expert.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. I know.
Okay, so that's a 3. Okay. You ready for the next one?
Yeah.
This is a good one.
Okay.
Constipation.
X-lax.
Softener.
Docalax.
Category.
Laxative.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Can I just say that I officially hate this letter?
Oh man.
All right. Is it my turn?
It is. Now it's your turn. Yes.
Keep it straight. Explanation.
Of course, you can't say explain because that's part of the word. So, explanation. I don't know. Talk. Give me another one.
Apology.
Oh, that kind of explanation. Excuse?
Yes.
All right.
Very good.
All right. So that was a 4Z. One more.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing too good. Okay.
No.
All right. All right. Let's give this a shot. Hydrogen.
Oxygen.
Yes.
Woo!
Woohoo! All right. I've been keeping tallies, so I'm ready. 31.
Oh. What'd you have?
I had 35. What did you have?
Well, originally I had 40.
But
and then I
said,
put
nah,
20.
We're good. You put 20? I said I was going to do 32. And then I'm like, nah, you know what? We've been doing pretty good. Let me put 35. Yeah, right. 31. Which isn't bad considering.
No.
It wasn't too bad.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Okay. Instead of using a word, because these are so tough, and the last word is excessive.
X is a tough letter.
You may be able to come up with a couple excessives, but instead we're going to just do EX words starting with EX.
X. So you started with excessive.
Excessive. We'll start with excessive.
Yeah, exactly. How about exercise?
Okay. Extra.
There you go. How about express?
Good. Extraordinary.
Good. Executive.
How about excess?
That's good. How about exhale?
Ex-con.
Oh. Exchange.
Good one.
Oh.
How about exalt?
How about extract?
Explained.
Good. Exhilarating.
Ooh. Exterior.
Good. How about exotic?
Exhaustive.
Okay. How about exam?
Exemplary.
Good. Excited?
Exclamation.
Oh, good. Exact.
Ex-husband.
Or X's and O's.
Yeah.
Want to stop with that? X's and O's?
Sounds good to me.
I like that song, by the way.
I do too.
Yeah. El King.
She's got an old-fashioned voice. I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
We hope you liked that segment, and remember to follow us on Facebook and leave us a comment, keeping it PG-ish, and let us know what you think of when you think of X something, X blank, etc., etc., etc.
There you go.
So it's an ETC.
Thank you. Just a real quick sports thing. You know who JJ Watts is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He just retired this past season. He got a tweet from the NFL. On behalf of the NFL, you've been selected for a high dry blood spot test. So they wanted him to have a blood test. Dumbasses. It's like, did you not get the memo?
A high dry blood spot test?
That's what it's called. Their blood test. That's what it's called.
So he retired and they want him to take a blood test?
He got a text. And on the bottom of the text, it's on Twitter. He actually showed the picture of it. On the bottom of it, it says, the sender is not in your contact list. Report junk. And his response was, I don't know what's going to happen if I report the junk, but I think I'm about to find out. So yeah, it's like, you know, guys,
take me off the list.
Take me off the list. Exactly. Don't waste my time.
This just goes to show you that any large organization,
the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. Yep.
Nope. The departments do not speak to one another.
No, not at all. But you think everything's online anymore. It's like, okay, change his status to retired.
But there are so many redundancies within most organizations that you need a physical person toggling that switch. It doesn't just happen one place and then all of the switches are toggled for everything. Right. You know, it's like, okay, this person has to do it, and now that's done. And now the next person, and the next, and the next, and the next.
Yeah.
It's bureaucracy, basically, within every organization. Yeah. You got to employ people.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the machines take over.
Oh, and we've talked about that.
I'm afraid of that. You know that.
Yeah. I actually have something else. Did you hear about Rogers?
No. What now? What did he do now?
Yeah, he went into this, like, hole, whatever. Like, went into some sort of mine thing that you go into a dark place and you stay there for like a week or whatever.
Would he go live in a cave or something?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's what everybody's calling it. He went to go live in a cave. And he doesn't have a team for next year. So it's like, are you not re-signing for Green Bay? Are you looking to make a move? What are you doing? And all these teams, including the friggin' Jets, are kind of waiting on him to make a decision before they figure out what they're going to do with their quarterback situation. Because I have a feeling that the Jets ownership wants to go after Aaron Rodgers.
Really?
Yeah. So anyway, he just came out of his cave and now he announced he's going on vacation. So it's like, don't bother me. I'm on vacation.
Is he having some kind of a meltdown?
I don't know. I mean,
existential crisis? Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Sounds like he really needs to go like to a sweat lodge or something and have a vision quest.
And he does mushrooms, right? I mean, he's made that very public. So, as far as
there's
the
some
Jets
science to that, though.
I mean, I realize that. No,
studies for that now. Yeah.
Yep. But do the Jets really need this baggage? Is what I've been saying. I mean, come on.
Well, I'll tell you something. I would rather have a guy on mushrooms in a controlled environment than somebody who turns out to be an assaulter of some kind or another.
Well, sure,
I mean, and that's creeping up more and more. You've got to figure any of these guys is going to come with some kind of baggage. At least Aaron Rodgers is not trying to hide it. Up front what he's got.
Well, you got a good point there. But the point that I'm making is that there's a guy who's no longer playing for Las Vegas. His name is Derek Carr. Do you know who he is?
Vaguely.
Okay. He's a young quarterback. He's really good. All he needs is a good system around him. Mm-hmm. And if the Jets they just interviewed him and it went very well. So it's like, what are you waiting for Aaron Rodgers to make a decision? Make this kid an offer. Let's get this done before somebody else makes him an offer, because the kid has potential, So I don't know. I mean, Jets. So that pretty much wraps up our NFL updates.
It is time for Pineapple Corner.
It is.
This is such a good episode.
It really, really is.
Season 5. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, anytime Carrie Elwes is in, they're really good.
Season 5, episode 10, Extradition II, the actual extradition part. As AT said, this is one with Carrie Elwes as Pierre Despereaux.
Who's really good. He's so good at
this. This is a tough episode to talk about because every line he says is basically quotable. Everything he does is outstanding. This is a great episode for him. Every scene that he's in is rewind worthy. He's just so good. And
he's so good.
It's even better than the first one.
I think so too.
Because he and Sean have that rapport now.
Yeah.
And it's
history.
That history and the whole business. And I think we just hit some highlights.
Yeah.
If we can. Mm-hmm. So the premise is that Sean and Gus get 2 first-class tickets to Canada. They get 3 nights in a nice hotel and a rental car paid for by Pierre Despereaux. He wants him to come up there.
Because he's in jail.
And Sean thinks he's lonely. Right. And Gus is like,
right.
I kind of have second thoughts about accepting gifts from a convicted criminal, especially one that we put away. And Sean's like, he's a nice guy, basically. We owe it to him to hear him out because we put him behind bars and he kind of ruined his life.
Right.
Like 10 minutes, not a big deal. The other storyline that's going on is...
Hang on for a second.
Okay.
I follow him on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite lines.
It's so good. Because he staged art thefts. That's like barely a crime.
Yeah.
And Gus is like, he held a gun to your head twice. And Sean's like, yeah, but it wasn't loaded.
Loaded?
How do you know that? So I follow him on Twitter.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
So good.
He goes to Henry's house to borrow a piece of luggage, and Henry says, I'm not going to bail you out this time. And then he asks him if he told her yet, because there's a secondary storyline going on with Juliet and this guy named Declan Rand, who is a psychological profiler
at the time. Yep.
Yeah. And he's super rich.
Yes.
And he just bought a hotel so that they could go and hang out on the Amalfi Coast.
And super crazy about her.
Jules was crazy about him until she and Sean had this moment and she wound up kissing Sean. So now they're in this weird flux position, and he doesn't want her to go to Italy without knowing how he actually feels about her.
And unfortunately, with all this groundwork that we're laying down here, has to do with previous episodes.
It's fine. It's easy. It's easy enough to follow.
Yeah.
So he has this conversation with Henry. He's like, I haven't told her yet. And Henry's like, you got to tell her, because I've messed up lots of relationships by not saying anything.
Right.
So Sean,
which is good advice.
It really is.
Yes.
Sean heads to the police station and she's not there. And he winds up talking to Buzz.
Which is hysterical.
It is pretty funny.
Sean pours out his heart to Buzz and says what he wants to say to Jules. And because Buzz was like, you want me to take a message? You want me to write this down? It's like, no, this is not stuff you want to write down.
No. So Buzz winds up telling him that he rushed a new passport for Juliet. She needed it by Friday, and today's Friday. He's like, is she already gone? And he's like, I think so. And so Sean thinks he missed his opportunity.
Missed the boat. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they go to Canada, and Gus is like, what's the matter with you? And he's like, nothing. This is my life now.
Yeah.
Visiting minimum security Canadian prisons. Like, yes. So they go in and they see Despero, and he looks amazing.
Yeah.
And
he's just hanging out waiting there for him.
Yeah. He's completely chill. And Sean says, prison looks good on you. And he goes, you call it prison. I liken it to a mid-range sandals resort. Gus is like, what are we doing here? And he says, you genuinely wanted me to be the greatest thief that ever lived. And Sean goes, that's right. So he's like, I'd like the opportunity to prove that I am. And Gus is like, you don't have to prove to us that you're a great criminal. He's like, but I want to. And Gus is like, you shouldn't. And he goes, but I will. And he's gleeful about it.
Yes.
So he's got a plan.
Of course.
And they're driving away. And Gus is like, that's the weirdest 26 minutes of my life, right? And Sean feels bad about it. He's like, I don't know. I spoiled it for the guy. He had a reputation of being able to get in and out of everywhere, know. And they're driving away.
And then what happens?
He pops up from the back seat. Gus is like, you broke him out of prison? And then we have the long intro.
Yes, which I like.
We've been picking these episodes that have the long intro recently.
Which I like.
Yeah. Gus is like, never mind, we're going to turn around and we're driving right back to prison. And Despero says, I have this small, somewhat impressive shiv that I learned to make from one of 30 prisoners named Gord. And unfortunately, you're putting me in the position of having to use it,
Right.
And then he's very polite. Could you go left up here at this mountain pass? And he's like, oh, this one right here? He's like, yes, please. And then he leaves
It's all
them
very
stranded.
civil.
It's very civilized.
Yeah.
And he leaves them stranded out there. And Gus says, if we're out here more than 2 days, I will eat you alive. To Sean.
Yeah.
So after 12 hours of walking,
they
arrive at the RCMP and they find Macintosh. And he's like, Macintosh!
They're all buddy.
And he's like, no. You got me fired. And Gus goes, you got yourself fired. He goes, by doing what you wanted me to do.
That's right.
And Sean goes, we got your job back. And Macintosh goes, at the lowest possible level. He's like, a job. We got you a job back. Now that I didn't realize you wanted your job back. Now that I know that, we'll get right on it. He's like, Gus is like, yeah.
It's just silly.
It is. But of course, Macintosh does wind up helping them out.
Nice guy. I like him.
He's very nice.
Yeah.
He always is.
Yeah.
But Ed Dykstra is not there because their head detective was found dead in his fishing cabin and nobody thinks it sits right.
Right. And Ed is the head of the department. He's a chief.
They don't call it that, though. It's something else.
What, commander?
No, I don't remember what it is.
All right.
So he's trying to convince Macintosh that Despero has escaped prison because he calls the prison and everybody's accounted for.
Right.
And then across the police radio comes a report that an art theft has just been reported. And it's like, uh-oh.
There it is.
It's at the Crown Prosecutor's house, John Santee. They go in and it looks like
a palace.
It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It's like a palace.
It's like gilded. The walls are
Right.
gilded. Everything is, and there's art everywhere, or there used to be art everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's a cigarette, his signature cigarette there. And
Despero's signature cigarette. Yep.
Yeah. So they see the scene. They're like, it's Despero. They go back to prison, and there he is. He's in prison. And of course, Macintosh is getting in trouble again for this because, you know, he's where he said he was going to be. So how could he possibly have pulled off this art theft?
Exactly.
Sean and Gus confront him, of course. He's like, it wasn't me. And he's like, well, then why'd they find a cigarette? Or why'd they find your fingerprints all over the place? And he goes, oh, Camilla Parker Bowles, I've been set up. Sean's mad because he murdered a guy, and he's like, I don't love you anymore.
That's right.
He's all butthurt about it.
That's right.
Again, Pierre hitched a ride in their trunk, and he knocked out a bellboy, and he's on the lam now. So like, oh my goodness. Anyway, they talk to Mrs. Santee, and Sean introduces himself, Big Apple Macintosh, and Gus as Yasmin Bleeth. But it turns out that Despero's having an affair with a woman, and they find him at their hotel room, and he says that he wants to hire them to prove that he's innocent. And Gus says, you can't hire us, we're trying to capture you. And he's like, oh, fair enough, you can continue to try and capture me, blah blah blah, but I do want you to prove that I'm not a murderer. And this is where the pineapple is. Did you see the pineapple room? Yes. On the table where he pours his martini.
Right.
It's glass.
Glass. Pretty.
Very easy to miss. But while they're in the hotel room, Juliet knocks. And now Sean has to give her the brush off. And I hate this part.
I hate this too. This is one of those typical frustrating parts for me. Mm-hmm. It's like, Sean, what are you doing?
You couldn't have said anything else.
Take 30 seconds and talk to her outside. No. You had to be a jerk.
Yeah. You know? Or say Gus isn't feeling well at the moment. Like, anything other than I'm alone and no, you can't come in.
Come in. Right.
It was terrible. So she is, you can just see she's like crestfallen. She thought that they were going to talk because he said they were.
Of course.
And blah, blah, blah. So it turns out that this guy named Crossley is a big time crime lord up there, and he spent some time in prison with Despero, and the woman that Despero is seeing happens to be Frank Crossley's wife. Yes. So he's like, oh, this is who's setting me up. They go to Crossley's house, and Crossley is dead in his swimming pool.
Yeah.
And Despero is at the scene. So now Sean is like, okay, I admit it. He looks guilty because up until now, he's really been kind of rooting for Despero behind the scenes.
Oh, of
he's
course.
Like, you know, he wouldn't leave his fingerprints, and he's an art thief, but he's not a murderer. We know that.
Right.
But now this looks pretty bad. So Gus is like, how many more people are you going to let him kill? And he's like, I don't know, Gus, maybe one more tops. But it turns out that Frank's wife, Valeria, the woman who's seeing Despero, is actually the crime lord, and she is actually the killer. And she was trying to pin everything on Despero. Sean winds up shooting Valeria with a grappling hook gun. A weird, like, Batman toy. Right. And after he shoots her, he, like, gently lays the gun on the ground, and Pierre is like, run. Pierre winds up getting shot, but he's alive, and he's okay, and he's getting extradited. He's getting extradited by Lassie, which I also looked it up. That would never happen. The Marshal Service handles international extradition.
I can,
Not the Santa Barbara Police Department.
Right. Showing up in Canada. Yeah, that wouldn't happen. I know.
No. So Jules is not there because she's upset, and he...
Woman problems, whatever he said.
You know, a typical Lassie answer.
Yeah.
And so he goes and finds her, but she's dejected. You know, she's kind of had it with his shenanigans because he comes up and he starts making jokes.
Tomfoolery.
You know, his hijinks. Yeah. He starts making jokes, and she's like, you know, everything's funny. It's just not funny, and I need to sort this out on my own. And he's like, okay. And he starts to walk away, and I'm like, don't walk away. And he doesn't. Yeah. He comes back, and he's like, can I just say what I came here to say? And he gives her this big speech about how much he loves his motorcycle. It's the purest form of freedom ever. He's never regretted this purchase, not even for a second. Yeah. And then she's like, great. Is there a point to this? And he's like, well, since I met you, I've been thinking about getting a car. And everything changes in her face. Yeah. She's like, that's all I needed really from you. And they wind up like snogging on this bridge in Canada, which is a huge tourist attraction, and all these people are standing around like watching them and filming them. And the music is Elvis's Such a Night, which is absolutely perfect.
Yep, I agree.
For this entire scene. It's so good. And we were talking about songs that make you happy. This song makes me happy.
Sure. Yeah.
So it was so good. They keep moving to different places. Then they're in the store. Then they get caught by this lady who says not a nice thing to Juliet. But and then they're like, okay, not here. So then they're in the car and they're snogging in the car. And then a cop comes and knocks on the window and tells them to move it along. And Sean's like, oh, wait a minute. I have a room. A really nice one. And she's like, and then he's like, paid for by a criminal. And she's like, why do you tell me these things? And he says, full disclosure.
Sure. Yeah.
And I was like, oh. Sean, like you should not have said full disclosure.
Yeah.
That gets you into trouble later on. But it had a really good ending.
They finally got together.
I mean,
after, really. And she had broken up with that guy who was that Declan guy. Yeah.
So, but this is just such a great episode.
It really is. There's one part that I really liked a lot that they were talking when they were in the prosecutor's house, and they determined that the prosecutor wasn't the one who was rich; it was the wife that was rich.
Yes.
And because she's part of the waffle people. and Sean says, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking? We need to try those waffles."
Yes. They didn't eat any waffles, but I think in Extradition Part 1, Sean ate waffle.
I think you're right.
And that is the waffle from the waffle people.
There you go. It all ties together, huh?
Yes. Yeah. Because in this episode, they're talking about smoked salmon and poutine and coffee crisps and stuff like that.
The other one is when Despero takes out that one gun so he can climb up the building.
Gum.
And he says, where does he get those wonderful toys?
That's from Batman.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Love that.
The other part that I like a lot is when after he dangles that guy off the side of the building.
Yeah.
He's on the floor and he's passed out. And Gus is like, is he dead? And Despero's like, oh no, he's just in shock. When he comes to, it's actually quite cleansing.
Yeah, that was good.
He's like, have you ever been dangled off a building? He's like, no, but I've been the dangler.
He's so good. Carrie Elwes is so good. I'm glad he was a recurring character.
Me too. And if there was ever one deserving, it's him.
It's him.
When Valeria shoots him, he's like, she's not going to kill me. She'll kill you, but she won't kill me. And then she shoots him in the leg and he's like, see, I was right. She didn't kill me. And Sean goes, yeah, it was true love. And that's from Princess Bride, obviously,
Exactly.
So I like how they just
I do too
work that little stuff in. It's really good. And Gus is running for his life even after she's knocked out.
Exactly. Stop running now.
Yeah.
It's such a good series, and this one's such a good episode.
Every scene in this one is really good. Really good. I mean, just the balls of it. Pierre is standing there. He's handcuffed to Lassie. He is signing his extradition papers, and he's like, Sean, I want you to consider something. And he's like, shoot, lunch on Friday.
Yeah. Great.
Come on. And he's like, I'll visit you in prison. And he's like, well, it's just he's so cocky.
I know.
But he does it
great.
in such a gentlemanly manner. It's just fantastic.
First Greek to me. Have you ever heard of Xenophon? Do you know who Xenophon is of Athens?
Is that like xenophobia? Is that where that comes from?
It probably comes from there. I was thinking the same thing. But he was born in Athens in 430 BC and studied under Socrates. His famous work was called Anabasis and is about the following. In 401 BC, Persian prince Cyrus the Younger gathered an army to dethrone his brother, Artaxerxes II, who was the king of Persia. So Cyrus had hired a large army of Greek mercenaries that included a professional soldier and writer who was Xenophon. During the battle, Cyrus was killed and the top generals were arrested, which left the group referred to as the 10,000, stranded deep in enemy territory in Persia. They elected Xenophon as one of the new leaders who, through harrowing obstacles, navigated their way back to Greece by way of the Black Sea. So him being a writer documented the whole journey, and it's called Anabasis, which in Greek is anavasis, which means to climb up or to rise up. Through his work, he was considered a historian. Now, being a writer, he had some good quotes. So I want to share a handful of them with you.
Okay.
All right? Self-confidence should always ride side by side with a strong sense of humility. Obedience should not be the result of compulsion. The man who doesn't know his own ability is ignorant of himself. Brevity is the soul of command. Moderation in all things healthful. Total abstinence from all things harmful. Let your tools be equal to the task. I thought that was pretty good. Success should never breed complacency. And then the last one, which is kind of my favorite. Battles are decided more by the morale of the troops than by their bodily strength.
Yeah. That comes back to a person fighting for their home is stronger than a person trying to conquer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's Xenophon. It's an interesting story, actually.
Yeah.
What he went through. Yeah, very interesting.
A couple weeks ago we were talking about the most Oreos with the cookies and cream filling.
Of course.
Okay.
They're gone, by the way.
Are they really?
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah.
My mother got a party size, just the regular ones. I just like the original ones, package. And I think she had 5. I worked my way through the entire party size. And then yesterday I went to the store and I got another one.
Of course you did.
And they've been sitting here.
Oh, nice.
The whole time.
There it is.
Because this is going to be my reward for getting through this episode today.
Because I needed a cookie.
I did. Yeah. I have 3. I needed a cookie. So I just wanted to let you know that you set us on a 2 party size package Oreo journey.
There you go. Love it.
Yes.
I have lemon Oreos right now.
Oh.
Yeah. Very good.
That sounds good. Are they just
and
the
I'm
single
a nibbler.
Stuff?
Yeah, single. They don't come in double. They just come in an original size. Yeah, and I'm a nibbler. So it's like, I'll have one now. You know? And then a couple hours later, it's like, need something a little sweet. I'll have another one. You know, that's what I do.
I tried doing 1 by 1. And I noticed that I do 1 by 1, I do 3. So now I'm just taking 3.
You just take 3 now?
Yeah, I just take 3.
You can't just have 1. You have to have 3.
I know, yeah. If I'm trying to be good, I'm like, just take 1.
Just take 1. Yeah.
Just take 1. It's like, okay, I'll take that 1. And then I'll take another 1.
Yeah.
And then I'll take another 1.
Right. Might as well just take 3.
Might as well.
Yeah. The rule of thumb is you can have 3 cookies a day.
Is it?
Yeah.
What if you're in the dark or in the closet?
You can have as many as you want if you're in a closet.
Or if it's a weekend or a holiday.
Yeah, weekends don't count. And I heard that the broken ones have less calories.
The broken ones do have less calories. I'm convinced of it.
Yes.
If you enjoyed this episode, remember to tell your friends and follow us on Facebook at Sense and Nonsense A to Z, all one word. And wherever you're listening, please like our episodes. And if you're listening on YouTube, subscribe to our channel and be sure to hit the notification bell to get notified of each episode as it becomes available.
We appreciate you listening. With that, we're out of here.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.